What's up, guys? It's Caliber here,
And the Beast.
And I'm Tara.
and today we are coming to talk about this. Not the case. We're coming to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, although we're not going to talk about the storyline, but I do want to talk about some of the comments that are surrounding it. And Beast, if he's seen any comments, he can go ahead and put those in. Tara doesn't really care about the game, so she probably won't have much of an opinion, so. But, I want to go ahead and start off, and everybody says that the AI difficulty stays the same. That's not actually true. Or not the AI difficulty, but that it's always a one-hit kill. That's not always true. As you progress further in the game, and depending on what you do, the AIs could get harder and harder. Currently, as it stands, it takes 2 to 3 shots with a rifle or carbine repeater. And I think Beast has noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what, 5 hits with a pistol or revolver? Not really a pistol, but a revolver.
Yeah, if you don't get a headshot, then it's probably about that.
Yeah. So I tried, whenever I use Deadeye, I try to aim for the head as much as I can just to kill them on contact. Headshots are a one-hit kill in that game.
Yes.
But, another thing that somebody had said is they were talking about how the AIs, I'm just going to call them AIs, they're also called NPCs or something along those lines. We're just going to say AIs, it's a lot easier. They say that everybody forgets who you are. That is actually not, that's also not the case. If you commit a crime in a town, and the crime was successfully reported, you have a bounty over your head, depending on how much it is, depending on what you did. So you have that, so, like, if you go away from the area, yes, law enforcement's not going to look for you. But as soon as one spots you, they are all on your ass.
Yeah.
And then saying that the people, you go away from the town for like 20 minutes, and then you go back to the town and nobody remembers you, I can actually clarify firsthand that's an absolute fucking lie, because I went back to, I forgot what town it was, but I went back to that town and I heard a guy off in the distance, like, talking in my general direction saying, yeah, I know who you are, you're a troublemaker. Now you tell me that they forget who you are. Now, I actually seen some comments tonight about Red Dead Redemption 2 and the controls. The controls are kind of junk, for the most part. I don't know, I haven't played the first Red Dead Redemption, so I don't know what those controls were like. But I can tell you from this standpoint, the aim and cover controls are complete garbage. And don't get me started, I can agree with some people on this. Do not get me started on that auto aim. Or not auto aim, but aim assist. That thing is, it's so powerful, it's actually quite boring. The only time I feel like there's any amount of skill involved when shooting in that game is when you are riding the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to keep yourself from wrecking into stuff while killing the people on the other horses.
That's true.
But I tell you, one thing that pissed me off about the game, and I actually experienced this, I was actually having a little glitch. My horse, like, would keep going trying to go this way. So I got off the horse, and I can understand where it comes from, but I got off the horse, I was standing in the middle of the street. I automatically get a wanted thing for apparently disturbing the peace. What? So I will say this, the whole witness thing, they really need to polish up on that, because that is pure garbage.
You know, it's like they tell you, you see the comments saying they don't remember you, right? But for some reason, every witness knows your effing name.
Mm-hmm. Just like when the game first launched, it had a very big problem that they knew who your name was, even though you had your face covered up.
Yeah, I remember they had to make like a patch for that, didn't they?
I guess so. I didn't really notice it because I try not to screw myself over in the game by making it harder on myself.
Right.
And the one thing that really pisses me off that I don't like seeing is the fact that everybody was saying the game is too slow paced. Personally, I fucking love that.
Yeah. Make sure to feel like there's no urgency. I like the whole
Yeah, and then everybody's saying, and a lot of people was like, "Oh, there's not enough encounters." Like, it's the Wild West. You're not gonna have that many encounters. If you want a lot of fucking action, a lot of encounters, go play Call of Duty Battlefield or something along those lines.
Right.
What Red Dead Redemption 2 is, so the way I've gathered it, because I'm actually a lot farther than what he is. At first, when we first started out, he was a lot farther than what I was. But that's only because, A, I got the game at a later date, and 2, it took me too fucking long to install it.
Right.
We're talking about literally over 100 gigabytes that is needed for this game. So, yeah. But since I've been up here, and I just been, he has to work, but I've been playing the shit out of the game, so I'm actually a lot farther, I think, with my main missions. Now, I will say this, I try to not spoil the game for anyone, which is why I'm going to be the smart one here. If I upload a Red Dead Redemption 2 clip that, and something happens that impacts the storyline, like a major amount, I'm going to be like, I'm not going to say what exactly happens. I'm going to be like, okay, well, this is clip number whatever. Because I'm just doing it by clips. I'm not actually doing full-on gameplay. But I'll do it by clips. And I'll be like, okay, well, in this one, spoiler. Warning, spoiler alert. So.
Right. Because there's a lot of people on this site that generally don't do that, and they put the big plot points within the title of their video. That's how I unfortunately learned the ending of it, which we're not going to say here, just in case somebody was able to avoid all that. But does it ruin the game for me? It ruins the surprise, the build up. I'm not going to be able to feel that initial shock that I was that I would have got if I found it out during gameplay. But I mean, it's still a good game regardless of which, even though I know what the ending is now, or like what one of the outcomes anyway, at least one of the major plot points. But it's still a good game.
Yeah, and then I see a lot of people complaining how there's not enough transportation. I mean, you think about it. You literally, I don't know too much about fast traveling. I guess that's with the stagecoach or something like that. Or stagecoach. Coach, not coat. Stagecoach. Or whatever. I mean, you have to understand the time period is literally the end of the 1800s for the most part. The only thing you had back then was trains, horses, boats, and stagecoach. That's literally it. You're not gonna take a fucking car from like the early 2000s and put it in a game that's modeled after the Wild West or towards the end of the Wild West.
That would be funny.
Right.
What?
If they did that.
Yeah, well, it'd be absolute fucking retarded because it doesn't make no sense
It
to
would,
me.
but it'd still be funny though.
I mean, if they want to put like a little, like an Easter egg or something to kind of show like the steam cars that came out around that time period.
Yeah.
Like the inventors who came up with like what was it, the steam powered bike, something like that. That would be kind of cool to see. But I mean, honestly, would it be like a lot of them abundance in there? No, it was something that was generally located to like an inventor here and an inventor there. But I mean, if they want to put it in there to kind of show it as like somebody like a little side mission or something, and then you get to like see a cutscene of it, that'd be kind of cool. But actually put like actual modern day vehicles in there, that would be absolutely, it'd just be too off putting.
Yeah, it would be. And I tell you, the amount of arguments I've seen surrounding this game between console players and PC players, it's fucking atrocious. Like, the PC players are kind of upset that the game didn't release right away on their platform. It may release, it may not, but I mean, we have to take a look at Red Dead Redemption 1. It never made its way to PC.
Right.
And it probably never will make its way to PC. But I think, honestly, as the Red Dead series stands, I don't know if Red Dead Revolver was released on PC at any point. But as it stands, personally, I think it just should stay console exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me they made it PC, but I mean, again, I don't see the complaining about the release date, really. It's like, they got their exclusive games. Why, consoles need to kind of keep a hold of what they got. They don't have very many left.
Yeah. And then I will say this: I've become more of a PlayStation. I'm not even going to call myself a fanboy because I'll defend both consoles. Each I will point out each of their pros and their cons. But I will say this: I have seen gameplay of Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox One X. And I don't know how it plays on the Xbox One X, but from what I can tell, the graphics really surpass PlayStation 4 Pro's graphics. But of course, it is a higher tier technology, which means that game developers are going to optimize for it better or more. Not really better, but they're going to optimize it for the PlayStation or not PlayStation 4 for the Xbox One X hardware more than what they would focus on PlayStation 4 Pro. Although I will say this, since we're talking about consoles, please stop comparing the PlayStation 4 Pro to the Xbox One X. Clearly, the Xbox One X is a whole different level of game console. If you want to compare any of the two, compare the PS4 Pro to the Xbox One S. Because essentially, they both do 4K upscaling. And I don't think neither one of them are actually hitting 4K, which I know they're not. But it seems more reasonable to compare the Xbox One S to the PS4 Pro. But I will say this. I prefer 1080p at 60 frames per second over 4K at 30 frames per second. Just my opinion. But I mean, if I prefer anything, if I really wanted high graphics and all that, I would just go PC. But it's expensive. It really is. So what have you seen based on surrounding Red Dead Redemption 2?
I mean, other than the fact of like, the problems we addressed a minute ago about, the interface with the want it and, them not remembering and stuff. I mean, those are all something that I wanted to do touch points on, but we already did. And, I heard, and I do know that there's a rumor that I hope is true, that I heard that there is either a patch coming out or some kind of like update that's going to come out for the system that is going to, or the whole game in general, not just, not being system, but for the game that will give you Mexico, which would be rather cool.
Yeah.
Because that would, give you almost the complete map of the original, and then plus the new map, and that would be kind of like a nice little thing. Because there's some places in Mexico I wish we can visit that we were able to visit in the first one that we're not able to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you guys seriously need to stop spoiling the game for others. You need to stop saying that the game is bad when to me, it's a really well-designed game. Yeah, it may be clunky here or there, maybe slow-paced, but that's what I like.
Well, I mean, it's also about niche, too. It's like, this is a niche game. Not only is it a niche in the fact of what genre it is, I mean, Western games in general are a niche all in itself. What makes this one different is a lot of people, even though they say they want vast sandbox type games, it's not really what's in the mainstream right now. I mean, everybody talks about wanting them a lot, and like Grand Theft Auto does a really good job in that aspect. But I mean, when it comes down to trends and everything else, it's literally like first-person shooters are literally still on the top of the gaming field, really. Yeah, there's like the battle royale thing that's kind of going on right now, but still the mainstream is still first-person shooters like your
Call of Duty,
like Call of Duty or
Battlefield.
exactly. Um, so yeah, if that's your style of game, this really isn't going to be your thing. You do that for the battle sequences and everything else. I mean, if you're a Rockstar fan, this will be something up your alley just because the styling is like that, but it's in a Western time frame. But I mean, still the same mechanics of Rockstar are all up in there. So I mean, it's really it's all preference, really. Um, I think it just gets a lot more flack just because it is more of a niche. But that's the only thing I can really say. I mean, writing wise, I mean, the story so far that I've encountered, I heard like even people are giving really great reviews for the story in general. You know, even if they don't like the outcome or not of the game, but they say it was well written. That's something you can say about Rockstar. They do that pretty well by making a good storyline. Rememberable characters that to kind of like supporting characters and all that jazz. So if you're more of a role playing kind of game, sandbox style gamer, that this is definitely something that's like up your alley.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to S13_the Beast. And don't forget to subscribe to TerraStorm. Anyways, guys, this is Storm Family signing out.